This ain't a rap song, it's Red Pill Rage.
It used to be a time that fairy tales were true. The king and the queen and all the pills were blue. But then the pill changed, the red pill's the truth. Forget the married life, I got better things to do. Stack money.
How to read a girl's mind. Very interesting creatures, very hard to read. Let's get into it. If she ever looks upset, just figure out if she's eaten yet. That's usually the key. If she ever just showed you something cool and then she's just staring at you, she just showed you something she's proud of, she's waiting for you to respond and give her attention. She wants to be praised. If she repeatedly says I'm fine but just won't talk to you about anything else, do something sweet for her. Okay, you made her sad. Go buy her a nice coffee. Give her a flower from the yard. I don't care.
Welcome back to the Anthony Spade channel. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notifications button so you can get the videos as soon as I put them out, which are typically around 9:30 Eastern time. Next, I will not be talking about all women, even though it feels like it. And if it feels like I'm talking about you, you need to check yourself, because I'm only talking about bad women that do bad things to good guys. You're looking for the music to the intro and you want the link to the second channel. Both are below in the description. All right, guys. Today we're going to be talking about how to understand women and understand the way that she thinks. All right. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because men need to understand that women look at life a certain way and men look at life a certain way. So there's a lot of confusion between the two because you're taught that everybody is equal. You think a woman is equal to you. As human beings, yes. But psychologically, no. A lot of what women are doing is trying to convince you that there's somebody that they're not, because they are afraid of who they are inside, even if they're not that mentally dysfunctional. But when it comes to a guy, women can always gain control over you because you don't understand them, because you think that you and them are thinking on the same level and you're not. A woman will always win in the younger years because guys lack the knowledge. But once men learn the knowledge of women, by the time you get in your 30s and 40s, it's pretty much impossible for a woman to take advantage of you because you're able to see through her. But when it comes to a woman, the older she gets, the less manipulative she's going to be towards the average guy. And the only thing that'll be left for her to manipulate is her children. And you will notice that when it comes to a lot of single mothers, the baby dad wasn't in a relationship. He was just a sperm donor. She wanted to have a kid so she could have something to love, but also have something to manipulate that's in her favor. That's why you see so many single kids when they're with their mom, they look so emasculated and scared to speak their mind. They come across guys like me and they be like, man, that was a breath of fresh air. I'm glad you said that. I know you scared your mom was going to scream at you the same way you scared your girl going to scream at you. So today, for all the single guys out there and the guys that need to understand women, we're going to be going over some cute little facts that I want you to start paying attention to with yourself that's going to help you to understand women. All right, let's get to it. First, never assume stereotypes. All right, you will get to the point where you can look at a woman, the way she dressed, the way she acts, and the way she moves, and you have a conclusion of her. You can't do that. You got to realize women are going to do what they have to do for attention whenever their insecurity gets low. A good girl will put on tight clothes to walk around to get attention, but that doesn't mean that she's a whore. All right, you have to understand that part. You also have bad girls that will run around acting good, dressing good, trying to be good to convince somebody they're a good woman when they're really bad. So the first thing that you have to do to understand women, you cannot assume stereotypes whatsoever. The moment you start assuming stereotypes is the moment you're going to lose. And this is how a lot of guys end up getting me too'd. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, she came back to my room. We did this and we did that. Yeah, but you never sat back and understood the dysfunctionality of her. All right. All you did was just go off the visual, what she was saying, how she was acting, what she was doing, and you automatically assumed that she was a certain type of woman. Another thing that you have to understand about assumptions, and you can actually verify this with women. A lesbian woman hates being viewed as a feminist, and a feminist woman hates being viewed as a lesbian, because both of them have two different type of thinkings, but the world assume that they're the same thing. You have to understand, you have a lot of sheep in this world, so you have a lot of bad people that dress like good people to blend in, but you have a lot of good people that dress like bad people to blend in, because sheep are typically following trends with clothing. So nowadays, just the trends in clothing, you can't assume what's going to happen. You may see a black guy in the hood and think you're going to get robbed, but the average guy running around here that's black, that's a gangster that's going to rob you, has on designer clothes. All right, so understand, never assume stereotypes when it comes to a woman, because a woman is not afraid to dress like a whore in order to get attention, but never sleep with a man. Next, just let her be her and study her actions. That's going to be a big thing right now, all right? You have to study her actions, because if you sit back and you don't let her be her, you always trying to be combative, you'll never see through to the girl that she really is. You got to realize a lot of these women are acting tough, they're acting smart, they're acting unrealistic because they just want attention. All you got to do is be the guy on the inside watching them be delusional. That's what you got to do majority of the times. Stop studying what's coming out of her mouth and start studying her actions as a person. Because when you study her actions as a person, you're going to get a lot further. And in a lot of cases, you have to be the quiet one. You cannot be no guy out here constantly being combative with women trying to prove your point. When you sit back and you're studying their actions, you're going to understand with women, they don't even know who they are. They don't know where they want to be. The only time a woman knows who she is and where she want to be in her value is when a man gives it to her. When a man is not giving a woman attention and men are not giving her attention, she starts to become humble and she becomes a different person. But as long as men are giving women attention, they're going to always have the power, because it's going to be easy to drag you into female energy. Once a woman pulls you into feminine energy, you're going to always lose the debates. You're going to always lose the arguments, because now you're in her world. So learn to sit back and watch more actions of a woman. Let her actions tell more than what's coming out of her mouth. Because if you start studying what's coming out of her mouth, you're going to be combative. You're going to be combative with her, because now you're falling for the words. Next, always keep space between you and women. All right? You never want to be around the same woman every single day. You never want to be calling the same woman every single day. You never want to be surrounded by feminine energy all the time. You never want to do that. Always keep space in between women, because it makes it easier for you to read women. Like, if you're the guy who's around women, make sure you have some guy friends that you hang around that you can get your masculinity from too. The worst thing you could do is hang out with nothing but women. If you hang out with nothing but women, you got a whole problem. Your whole life gonna be flipped upside down. Men are gonna always be bad. And you, the nice guy, you're gonna always be thinking that you're doing good. As a man, keep space in between so you can see that majority of what women are doing are just manipulating people to treat them a certain way so they keep the power. Women enjoy being comfortable. Women are comfortable with being uncomfortable. If you keep them in an uncomfortable, compromised situation, it's going to always keep their attention. You guys are just always around them, all up under them, laughing and giggling, joking with them. You're going to start to side with them. If you don't give yourself space, then you're going to fall into their energy. And the only thing that you're going to understand them is what they understand about men. You're going to become a man hater. And you're not going to, once you become a man hater and you think men are bad and women are suffering all the time, you are done. You are done. You will never understand a woman after that, because you've taken on her personality. So learn to keep your space in between women whenever you're dealing with women. Another thing, if you and your boys are around women and it's just one woman and then there's 4 guys, shut up. Shut up. I hate when there's one girl and all of a sudden 4 guys want to get talkative. They want to become funny. They want to start cracking jokes. Never, never, ever be that guy. Ever. You want to know how she is? When more guys come around, get quiet. that'll tell you everything about her, and then you can sit back and watch her play psychological games with them. Next, never be judgmental. You got to be open-minded to everything. Never look at a crackhead woman and talk bad like, man, she's a crackhead, bro. She ain't worth shit. She ain't that. Understand what may have gotten her on crack. Start understanding that. This white girl just told all these black dudes, like when we were coming up, white girls, like the little country white girls that used to come in from the city, they used to be all sluttied out, like, you know what? I'll suck all y'all dicks. Like, it used to be like that. But I used to be the guy in the cut, like, what would make her want to say that? You guys spend a lot of time poking fun at thoughts, poking fun at whores, poking fun at the wrong woman that's going to hurt herself in the long run, but you got to stop and look at her thought process. What is causing her to think like this? What is damaging dysfunctionality has happened in her life? There's no father there. What else happened? But what you don't do, you don't ask her. You sit back and wait for her to tell you how her life is. You don't give her an interview. That's going to make you look weak as a man. Never get her an interview. You sit back and you watch women like that. You watch the slut box, or you watch the good girl who's addicted to her job. You say, what makes her addicted to her job? What is it that she has to prove? You have to understand, people always have something to prove. You need to figure out, why do you have something to prove? Because most of the people that are happy and have money and is living the life they want, they have nothing to prove. So instead of being judgmental about what she's actually doing, start to ask yourself, why is she thinking that way? And then you'll get to understand women a lot better, especially when it comes to their emotions. Next, learn to pick up hints. One of the worst things that you guys do is that you do not pick up hints whatsoever. Women be dropping clues all the time that say if they like you or not. They drop clues all the time to let you know you're going to get played. You need to be able to sit back and look at all the clues that she's dropping, all the red flags that she's going to say, all the little things that you're not going to pick up on or learn about until after you get your heart broken. You got to start looking at that type of stuff early. The quicker you're able to pick up red flags and hints, the better you're going to be. But most of you guys get blinded by her look and her presence that you don't pay attention to none of it. You just want to make her smile. So if you're unable to see the red flags, you would never understand a woman. Next, last but not least, never, ever, ever talk about sex with a woman. Never talk about it. And the reason why you never want to talk about it is because that's where her power is at. She does not have to be herself in order to keep the attention. So when you start talking about sex, you're giving your power away to women. All these beta males that be doing these shows with women, oh, what's your favorite sex? Who's been cheated on? You like it in the booty. Do girls like it when you kiss their toes? It's two girls at once. You guys are always talking about something sexual with a woman because she can't talk about anything else. Tell a woman to talk about politics. Tell a woman to talk about balancing sheets. Tell her to talk about how she do her taxes. No. You guys ain't getting it. You want to talk about sex with these women you're never going to have sex with. The moment you start talking about sex with a woman, she's going to look down on you. She ain't looking to come over and suck your dick. That fat chick in high school did that. When you become an adult, women start talking about sex just for attention, and they're mainly going to talk about it with guys they're never going to sleep with because they can control the situation. Never talk about sex, and you will see an entire different side of that woman. And if she gets to the point where she can't talk about nothing but sex, she's a biscuit head. Understand that. She's a biscuit head. If you and her can't talk about real life shit outside of celebrities and outside of sex, you need to avoid her completely. All right? This is Anthony Spade. Hopefully you guys are able to get the message behind the video. Comment, like, subscribe to both of my channels. Hasta la vista.